And what happens with this is it grows exponentially faster if we continue to do the right things, okay? And I think that's what I want to talk to you about tonight is what are the opportunities for all of us to grow together as we develop the overall team and our individual team. So hopefully we all feel part of this team, and then you're going to develop your own team that you're going to be coaching and mentoring. Okay, so I want to talk through some of the things that I've learned about mentoring through the years that some of you may not be familiar with, and if you're not, please hear me. I'm not saying any of this to offend anybody. I'm saying it because I love you and I care about you. I want to help you. You know, John Maxwell, before he gets ready to share some truth with somebody, he'll say, "Hi, I'm John. I love you." That's what he says every time before you. So I'm not going to be that harsh, but I want to read a quote out of this book. Some of you may have read this book before, Good to Great. It's an old classic. One of my favorite points that Collins makes in here is on page 13. All great companies or great leaders like you and I, they must confront the brutal facts and never lose faith. So you got to do two things there. Confront the brutal facts and never lose faith. Because sometimes when we look at the brutal facts, they're not awesome. When I first started mentoring with my first business mentor in way long time ago, 2000, the brutal facts were I had horrible people skills. Some of you, the brutal facts are you're just not working hard enough. Some of you, the brutal facts are you're not consistent enough. Some of you, the brutal facts are you could go on and on and on. That's okay. So you have to confront the brutal facts without losing faith. So here's what Colin said. By the way, this book is a study of all these companies that went from good companies to great companies, but it all applies to leadership. We learned that he talks about the Stockdale paradox. I won't go through that, but here's the quote I really want us to get. You must maintain an unwavering faith that you can and will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. You must maintain an unwavering faith that you can and will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. And at the same time, have the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be. So what is my current reality right now? Well, I can tell you this. I got canceled today. I didn't get canceled. I got rescheduled. And so guess what I did? I got out my names list and I started contacting people again. Because the brutal facts were, yeah, our income jumped massively the last couple of weeks. Really last week, and it's going to be really bigger this week, looks like, the way it's tracking. So I could have said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about contacting anybody. I'll just let things roll. No, I don't want to be a one-star executive. I don't want to be. I'm already very uncomfortable here. I don't like it. I don't want anybody to call me that. I want to be at the top of the compensation plan. That's my goal. I want to be at where, oh, they had to create a new level for you. That's just me. I'm weird and twisted that way. That's just the way I am. That's the way I'm wired. So I know that Amy loves that part of me. Get ready, honey.
I've known this about you for a long time. I'm still here.
Okay, so I want to share with you guys some of the stuff that I learned about mentoring through the years. You can call it coaching, you can call it whatever. Some of you might hear this thing, oh yeah, I do that. I'm a pastor with a mentor or whatever. So I want to make just a broad offer to anybody on this call. Amy and I are happy to mentor you, okay? We're also happy not to mentor you. Whatever you want, okay? But what I will say is you need a mentor. You need somebody that can mentor you. And you need to open up to them. So I've had several mentors in my life, and each of them maybe had a little bit of a different style. Probably the most consistent through the year, last, I don't know, decade and a half has been Billy, and he probably knows most about me than anybody, but maybe my pastor, I guess he knows it same He knows as much as my pastor does down in Florida. Okay, so 4 questions I want to cover, okay? Number 1, who mentors me? Number 2, when do they mentor me? Number 3, how do they mentor me? And number 4, how do I maximize being mentored? I'm going to go through each one of these, okay? Who mentors me? When do they mentor me? How do they mentor me? And then how do I maximize being mentored? So, number 1, who's mentoring me? Here's this one seems like it's pretty obvious, but whoever's mentoring you, you might want to make sure that they have success in the area that you're seeking to be mentored. And again, it doesn't have to be Amy and I. We're not looking for 500 people to mentor. The people come around naturally. But if it's your pastor or your dad or your uncle, somebody like that, somebody you can be totally transparent with and say, this is what I want to accomplish in life. Can you help me get here? Back in 2015, I had a big switch in my life, and I basically ended a relationship with one mentor. The first thing I did was find another mentor. His name is Pete Oakes. He's good friends with the Hobby Lobby guys. He runs a big prison ministry and very, very wealthy guy, but more importantly, real strong Christian, very strong leader. And I got tons of time with him. He's a author as well. So I found another mentor in that business area. Okay. And so what area do you want to learn? And they shouldn't just be experienced. They should be good at it. Okay. And are they being good at something right now? Have they been tested and have they passed? If you have a mentor, it's very helpful if they've been through some kind of struggles. Most mentors will have been. Like everyone I've ever mentored with, they've been through some kind of struggles and they passed the test. So you don't want some little snot-nosed kid that's never had any struggles. His dad gave him $10 million and now he so-called owns a business. You want somebody that's built something and been through some tests, okay? Let's see. Are they growing themselves? This is a big one. Is your mentor, whoever's mentoring you, are they growing themselves? I can remember, leaving names out of it, several years ago when Amy and I had a realization that somebody we were mentoring with in certain areas in life, they couldn't help us anymore because they stopped growing. One of them was spiritually. And that was like, to me, that affects everything. Like if you're not growing spiritually, it's probably going to be a pretty short conversation that I'm going to have with you. I don't care how much money you have. Like, some of you might love our president, some of you might hate our president, but I would talk to him about business, but I would never talk to him about marriage, spiritual. There's a lot of things I wouldn't care to get his opinion on, right? So it's good if you can find a mentor that has all of those things. But I remember that day, Amy and I were driving home and we had some conversations about, wow, this is going to change things. We had to have that realization, even though we didn't really want to, we had to have that realization that there's some areas here that this couple can't really help us now in. So there will be a time, and if it's done right, you'll pass your mentor in many different areas. Like that's my goal as when Amy and I are mentoring people, is to help them do better. Kind of like we do with our kids, right? We want our kids to do better than we did. So, okay, so that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, when do I get mentored? When do I get mentored? Well, I get mentored a lot from all these books back here. Those are just some of the books, but I try to be very intentional about a repeatable time that I get mentored. Okay, so I've had many years where once a week I do a phone call with my mentor, and once a month I'm face to face, no matter where they were at in the world. We literally would go meet them face to face just to get some time with them. So we got Zoom now. You don't have to do all that, but I still get time with Billy Florence, which means a lot to me. And, sometimes we talk once a week, sometimes we talk 2 or 3 times a week, whatever. I know when I see the phone ring from him, I'm going to try to pick it up if I can. If I'm not in a meeting, I'm going to call him right back. And so sometimes there's not really an agenda for that call. Sometimes there is. Like I called him today. I had a specific intent of why I wanted to call him today. Okay. So, our mentor should um, push us to get out of our comfort zone. If they don't push us to get out of our comfort zone, we're probably not mentoring enough. So I don't know what the timeline is for you and how often you personally think you need to be mentored, but here's a good question to ask your mentor. How often should we get together? So let's say if you're mentoring with your pastor and you tell your pastor, hey, I want to hit this certain business goal. He doesn't need necessarily understand the business. He needs to understand your goals and how can he help you have breakthroughs, hit those goals. Now, obviously, it's going to be helpful to have somebody in the business to help you with some of that. But I can't tell you how much my pastor in Florida has helped me with leadership stuff. You can't even measure how much. He has never I don't think he's ever shown a plan in network marketing ever. He understands it, how it works, but he doesn't know how to build it. But Tom and Donna Askell have helped Amy and I so much in our marriage, parenting, there's all kinds of stuff through the years. So it doesn't have to be one mentor teaches you everything about life, okay? Uh, so if they don't help us move outside of our comfort zone, then that's a problem. My first business mentor used to say this about me, and I don't say this to brag. I think it's something we should all shoot for, and some of you might be way better at this than me. But he would say that of all the people he mentored, I was the fastest to go from problem identified to problem solved. And that's what Good to Great is talking about. Being brutally honest with where you're at while keeping positive about it. That's the hard part. Because when you see, okay, this is why it's not working for me right now. It's not the business. It's something that I'm not doing or something I am doing that I shouldn't be doing or vice versa, right? So can I hear the truth? That's a hard thing. And that only comes, I think, when you have a mentor that cares about you. Like, without getting into all the details, Tom Askell has had to tell me some pretty difficult things, particularly as it relates to Amy and I. Like some people might look at it as, well, Tom actually insulted me a couple times in front of my wife. No, he didn't intentionally insult me. He told me things that were true, and I think he wanted Amy to know that he got it and he was going to help me fix it, and he did. And it's paid huge dividends through the years. I mean, some of this stuff was probably what 10, 12 years ago at least. But anyhow, maybe more than that. Long time ago. But that kind of stuff, when it hurts, it just means you're probably growing. It's probably a good sign, okay? So the third one is, how does my mentor me? How do they do it? So we got when and then how. They share perspective, which is good, but a good mentoring session should be mixed with teaching and asking questions. So if somebody doesn't have experience in what you're doing, they might not be able to teach you exactly what they're doing, but they can ask you questions. Now, I'll give you a good example of this. So when I got started in LifeWave, Billy Florence was just still kind of checking it out, and he wasn't really interested in doing anything with it, and just kind of supporting me. But he always knew the right questions to ask. Now, granted, he does have tons of experience in this industry, but not in this business, right? But he knew the right questions to ask me, and it was just so helpful. And he still does that now. Like today, I could tell he studied this new compensation plan. He's really studied a lot. And one thing I know about Billy Florence, he will never, ever ask a question that he doesn't know the answer to. At least I've never heard it. Like that's the way he teaches. So tell me what you think about this. How many levels do you think this will be? He'll ask you these questions when he's really he's just trying to find out if you know the answer to it. He already knows the answer, or he wouldn't be asking it. It's a really unique way to mentor, and you get it. Some of you might have had a school teacher like that or a college professor where they had a certain teaching style and just related to you, and that was it. It still is today, that way with me and Billy. So another way would be like people that really tell you certain things. They ask you a couple of questions. They tell you certain things that you need to do. You got to be willing to listen. So some of you may have heard of Campus Crusade for Christ or Family Life, Crew, all that. Family Life was started by a guy named Dennis Rainey, Dennis and Barbara Rainey. I had the opportunity to mentor with Dennis for 2 years. And his mentoring style was this. It was really simple. So I got once a month, I'd be on a call with him for at least an hour, sometimes two, depending on how it went. And he would say, okay, give me an update. And he would expect the update to go. And here's how I knew it. I asked him, Dennis, how do you want these calls to go? And he said, well, let's just play it by ear, but probably just give me an update for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we'll see where it goes. So here's how it would usually go, is I would give him an update. We'd catch up, small talk, and fellowship a little bit. I'd give him an update, and then he would prescribe what he thinks I should do with all that. And then he'd say, "You got any questions?" That would dig into more stuff, and more stuff, and more stuff. But the main thing I had to do is remember: here's a man that has been on this earth. How old is he? He's on this earth at least 20 years longer than I have been. And he's been in ministry forever, and just leadership and problems and all this stuff that he's dealt with that I've never dealt with. So I need to listen. I mean, that's why I'm on the call with him. Okay. So to be a mentor to somebody, we have to be mentored. We'll be a more effective mentor if we're mentored by somebody else, because we'll learn to do it by breaking through our own issues. And I think here's the real issue. Do we want to have fans, or do we want to have friends? Because a mentor will be a true friend. They'll be a fan too. They'll clap for you, hey, but they're going to be your friend. And a friend will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Fans tell you everything you want to hear, right? Oh, you're great. You're awesome. You hit this new level, all that, super proud of you. But your friends will tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes what we need to hear isn't necessarily comfortable. Okay. So, by the way, I was listening to a recording by John Maxwell. He said, when he has somebody that's not doing well mentally, they're kind of down in the dumps or whatever, he has them read Psalm 112. And ironically, we're going through a Bible study right now. We're going through the Psalms. But so guess what I did when I was watching this? I grabbed my Bible and I read Psalm 112 right in front of him. As he read through most of it, but I read the whole thing. I paused the video. I read the whole thing. Why? I wanted to know why. And I would encourage you, read Psalm 112 and you'll be encouraged by it. It's got so much good leadership stuff in it, and correcting our thinking, all that. Okay. All right. Last question. Number 4, how do we maximize our mentoring? So when you're mentoring with somebody, whoever that person is, how do you maximize it? Number 1, prepare. Like if you know you have a mentoring session, spend some time just kind of preparing your mind and maybe make some questions. John Maxwell actually got to mentor with John Wooden. A lot of you know who John Wooden is. He mentored with John Wooden for I think about 5 years. And the first mentoring session he ever had with him, he was just supposed to go to breakfast with him. And John Wooden said, "Well, you got any questions for me?" And he pulled out his pad of paper, and there's a whole sheet of questions. He goes, "Wow, you got a whole page here." He goes, "Well, that's the first page. I got another one and another one and another." He had 5 pages of questions for John Wooden. And he said, we had breakfast for about 2 hours. And then he said, at his invite, he invited me to his house. So I left his house at like 5 o'clock that night. I got to spend the whole day that first time with John Wooden. And we got through 2 pages of my questions. And here's the key point. He said, we got through 2 pages of my questions, and I got 5 pages of notes from spending time with John Wooden. I don't know that there's anything more important to being mentored than understanding what CJ Mahaney talks about in his book, Humility, True Greatness. I won't be mentored by somebody if I don't think somebody else has more to offer than me. Ultimately, it gets to the root of my heart. Everybody on this Zoom right here is something they can teach me. I know that. And then I'm going to narrow it down to, okay, who is best suited right now to help me to move forward to the next level of where I'm at in my life. And so that's who I'm going to pursue. And probably the most influential person right now for me, where I want to go in business, is Billy Florence. So I'm spending a lot of time picking Billy's brain about different things. So to prepare for it, make sure you're prepared, write notes, et cetera, okay? And then reflection. So when you're having this meeting with whoever your mentor is going to be, spend some time reflection, taking notes, and then when you take notes, go home and read them. What am I going to do about this? And then the most important thing, and I think is the biggest sign of respect when I spend time with a mentor, is take action on what you just learned. So I just went through all this. They pushed, they molded like a piece of clay, and they had to push, and it was uncomfortable and all that. But if I go through all that discomfort, learning what I need to grow, where I need to grow, and then I don't go do what they asked me to do, what they thought I could do, what they just got done telling me they believed I could do, shame on me. So if I get all this mentoring without change, to me, it's kind of like being on a Peloton. You can ride and you can get in shape a little bit. You're just not going anywhere. You're looking at the screen, you think you're going, so, well, look, I'm going through the mountains and everything. No, you're not. You're pretending that you're going through the mountains. There's a big difference. So if you really want to go through the mountains, then we have to be willing to listen to our mentor. Okay? So from a practicality standpoint, I know some of you want to go to Hawaii. There's a couple things you need to do that. I was telling Sergio this. I think it was Sergio. We were audio messaging back and forth. So I have 2 of these sheets right here. This is the Hawaii tracker. I have 2 of them. I have one where I've laid out a couple plans. Like, here's the points. If I do this, I do that. And here's 2 points. One's at 160 some. The other one's at 150 some. Okay, these are 2 options that could get us to Hawaii. That's good. I should have that. So that's one. And that stays in the drawer, and I look at it every couple of days. This one is reality. This is what's actually going on right now. This is how many points I have. And that sits right on the bottom of my computer screen. Every time I enroll somebody or somebody ranks up, then I upgrade it right there. So this is my actual tracker, because I can lay out plans all day long, and I can make you the sweetest plan. But if I don't go implement it, I ain't going to Hawaii. I'm just going to be thinking about going to Hawaii. So we need that tracker sheet. And then this thing here that Steve made, or I don't know, maybe he had one of his guys make, whatever, but Steve had somebody make this. This power of 2 is gold. If you fill this thing out and you do this, I don't know, plan on doing it a couple times and you'll be in Hawaii. Steve said you do this once, you'll be there. I don't know how many people are actually going to sign up on premium or what your story is there. So me personally, I've signed up a few on premium. I've had more upgrade to premium. I would rather, in my mind, I have more control over this. I can enroll people more on advanced than I can premium, then I can help them upgrade later. So if I have to go out and enroll 2 more on advanced instead of trying to push on premium, then they kind of back down. I'm going to do that. I have more control over that. So that's typically where I start. But this sheet is so important. And by the way, I just put this in the chat. Y'all can print this out and look at it. It's all the points for Hawaii, which each rank is. It's on that tracker sheet as well. But this is just I don't know how many pages it is, probably 8 pages that tells you about the flights, accommodations, meals, transfers, taxi. It's all the details about the trip. This was just posted. They probably sent you an email about it too. But get this, any of this stuff you can print out and look at is good. Don't spend all day in it though. The dangerous thing would be to just look at all the stuff for Hawaii and then not get into action. I would say probably 85 to 90% of the people that get started into networking, the one thing, the one knob they could turn more is action. If I'm not in action, then it's really going to be not as effective to be mentored, and your mentor is going to figure that out. And I think ultimately that's why people don't want to be mentored. They know, here it is. They know some of the stuff that they should be doing and they're not doing it. That's why they don't want to be mentored, because they know somebody's going to put the mirror up and they're going to say, dang it, I don't like that. So then they try to go to another mentor and try to have somebody encourage them. And I know this from experience, certain areas of my life, I knew I had to make changes and I didn't want to hear it from certain people. So, all right. So all that is what I wanted to share with you guys. And again, Amy and I are happy to help anybody with mentoring, coaching, whatever you want to call it. If you want to build a really big business that you don't have to worry about and continue to show 10 plans a week or whatever, this is the key point right here. We've seen this. Amy and I have had months where we make several $100,000 in a month and never show a plan. And we're over in the Mediterranean for over a month and our business grows like crazy in a business that was nowhere near as good as this because we had people that we had mentored. So I really brought this talk up because I thought, I wish I would have figured this out when I was a new manager or director or whatever. I wish I would have understood how important mentoring is as I built my team out. And it's just going to make such a huge difference for you guys. So anyhow, so questions or comments or concerns or anything about this whole mentoring thing? What do y'all think?
Awesome stuff.
I know the new manager probably like, what the heck is this? This is deep.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring this up to everybody is to give everybody the option, because here's what's going to happen. I don't know when yet. I haven't decided, and I've been having some of these conversations with Billy. We're going to start doing graduated departures where we're going to cover more deep stuff like this and maybe more fluffy new stuff with the newer managers. But we're going to start to build the leadership team, and in my mind, the team that's going to be speaking and leading this whole thing as we move forward. Okay, so I want, like, when we go to an event, I want everybody to know that, wow, those people, they got something going on. Like, not from a prideful standpoint, from a team unity standpoint, that this team actually has the tightest net community and the best communicators, the best speakers. They give the most glory to God. They support each other the best. Like, I want that to be evident in this team, and I believe it will be. And in order to do that, we're gonna have to continue to dig in a little bit deeper. So next week, manager meeting will be a little more foo-foo stuff, but I wanted to just I'm gonna just cast the net here, and the net has been cast, and I'll just tell you, probably within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna do, I don't know if it'll be director and pace setter, probably something like that. So just continue to move on, or maybe it'll be 3-star manager, pace setter. I really don't know what it'll be, and that's not to push anybody aside because we'll still do these meetings, but it's going to give us an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper and help you, because I'm just telling you, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on all this. I have never experienced anything like this, like not even close, where new people can get a trip to Hawaii. And more importantly, when they get there, they're going to be making good money and a lot of them won't have to have jobs anymore. I mean, like that's crazy. Some of you maybe got high incomes or whatever, or you got debt you want to pay off, whatever the case is. But I just think this is such a great opportunity and understanding how a bad business grew so good and so many people had success. Like this is just going to be a great ride. And so Amy and I are excited beyond belief, and we are moving on. I don't want to be an executive anymore. I'm not going to be an executive anymore. We're moving on. So love to have somebody come with us. So
You can say all that. Yes. I think you
what
were
do you think? Be nice to him now. Love on him now.
I mean, I think you were amazing. I don't even know what to add to that. Those are the things that I love about you is you have such discipline and push yourself, and I get to watch that in action every day, right? And so I'm so thankful for that. So I can't even say anything to that. That it's everything that you say, he walks the walk. I can say that as his wife, and like I said, it is a joy, and it pushes me to be his wife because to me he has high standards, and I know that's one of the things that our kids love about him is that he does have great discipline, and that you're always moving on to the next thing. Like you really do, like, okay, I don't like this, I'm going to fix this, and whether it be in yourself or something else. um we know when you're in that season, and that season is often and I respect it, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's been times it's been out of necessity, right? And now it's like, wow, this is just fun.
But when you do that, like we've gone through many difficult things, with children, just all different things in our life, and he's always led and he's always sacrificed, and I have such respect for his. I've never seen him stick his head in the sand ever about anything, and which makes me not want to do it for very long because it's like, okay, he's not sticking his head in the sand, I can't do that, and we just move on to the next thing. And so that's how life is with you, and I enjoy it. There's times that it's definitely like, oh boy, here I go. but but I love that I get to do that with you, and it is exciting. Like as you were showing me different things with our income, I don't understand it, because I don't know that we ever had anything where
It jumps like that.
it jumps like that. And we were excited about the new compensation plan anyways, just because how it benefited everybody and especially the new people. But then to see it in action was like, wow, it's huge. It really is. But I really do love that, as going back to what Nick was saying, I think about his dad, 80 years old, he can go down the street and he's got a way to help people initially, but also that's income for that, and for retired people. But you're initially going to help somebody with their health, and they get excited. It makes it very easy to talk to other people about, and it's just a great package, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Omar, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you
Yes.
okay sharing our conversation the other day, what we talked about?
Yes, about I was actually gonna ask that as a question. So that's now you were gonna put me in a spot. I was gonna put myself in a spot actually, because one thing about mentorship you were talking about. I was like, okay, like we take it for granted sometimes because Tim offer it, but I understand the value of Tim and been watching him and in the big, like seminars and stuff. So I wanted to earn his time, not just have his time. So I decided, I said, hey Tim, I'm gonna do something every day. So I went and I did something every day. Then now I'm like ashamed of myself, like say, now I need to earn him his time with actually results, not just action, because he was talking about the action. I did the action, I had it all wrong. And I was like, oh man, my first month I was sponsoring everybody. I guess it wasn't me because I was having Tim showing my plans. So everybody saying yes. Now that I said, okay, I'm going to take this and do something with it. And then I realized everything I was doing wrong, until I talked to Tim and he have his perspective to what I was doing, what I need to do differently. Because I try to utilize, okay, I don't have a lot of time. I have a business. I don't get home until night. What do? I said, I guess created my own system, something like that. But I hit the wall until Tim, was showing me, like leading, the process. You have to lead the process. Just don't let it happen. Make it happen. Have specific intent of doing things, not just like throw mud in the wall and hope it sticks. So I don't know if that's what you want me to share, but that's what I wanted to share with the group is not taking, action is good, but follow up with your mentor to figure out how to get that action to results.
Yeah, that's great. That is what I want to share. I appreciate that, Omar. So, one thing, again, getting past this pride thing might be causing a struggle. So, I won't tell you how much Omar makes in his business, but it's multiple five figures. Okay, so he's not hurting for money. But when he called me and he told me what was happening, and then he said, "Okay, I got this list of 5 people." I said, "Okay, hold on. Let's stop. Let's talk about this first one." And we went through step by step, and he received it. I didn't say, "Dude, you did this, you did that." I said, "Okay, here's what I would do there, and here's the principle is, Omar, you want to control the process." So, what he was doing is because he doesn't have a lot of time, he literally works like long hours into the wee hours of night and all this. I mean, he works hard for what he has. And so he's using the video. He's been showing the REMA video and then just not able to button it up. And so we talked about controlling that process. And for those of you that are using the video instead of showing the plan for whatever reason, Renita. Yeah, I'm sorry, Renita. Yeah. What did I say?
Rima.
Rima.
But she has a great video or testimony, but I thought you were talking about the plan.
So Renita, yeah. So she's got like it's a 15-minute plan. It's on the YouTube deal there. But anyhow, control the process is what I was telling them because then you don't have to chase people down. So either watch that on Zoom together, or if you're going to go be face to face, and then you take the application, set it down right in front of them. Which works better for you? Is the Advance or the Advance Plus? Kind of tight, core, whatever. Sign them up. But they want to place an order. And another key point, I don't tell people it's a good idea to get into a business. That's just my style. We place a wholesale order. It's way less tempting, way less pushy to say get started in a business right away. Now, as soon as I get their information, they're going to know that they're in business because I'm going to say, let me ask you a question. Who are 2 or 3 people that you think might need this, that you love and you care about? So I'm going to start rotating the pattern with them already. That's going to be the natural thing to do. So those are the kind of little things that you can talk about with your mentor and they can help you through. So, and Omar, did you get your feelings hurt when we talked? Were you okay? Did you cry after the call or anything? Or
no, actually, that's what I like. If you don't hurt me, that means you didn't do anything.
So
I want the truth.
he is a very hard worker.
Yeah, that's how I am. Tell me the truth. I just want to know the truth. All right. So anything else? Any other comments?
No, thank you for sharing all this.
Oh, no problem.
We really need it. I have a good mentor with Mary Lou and Vinny, but they keep me in line. So
That's awesome.
It's good.
They're
well,
great.
I can't be brief, and that's my problem.
Well, we get excited, don't we?
It is. It's tough. I get it.
We're all guilty of that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, about the time I realize I'm talking too much, it's too late. People are falling asleep. So
Yeah,
I don't
something.
want that to happen tonight. I want to leave you guys with one last thought. And I want this to be like you think about this all the time. Everybody, because having an assumptive mindset is so important. And it's hard to train yourself to do this naturally. You assume everybody wants to get in your business. Everybody wants to get in your business. Not some people, not most people. Everybody wants to use these patches. Let's start there. And then of the people that use the patches, most everybody's going to want to build a business. And here's our task as teammates here to make this thing grow. Here's our task. Remember this. Everybody wants to enroll in your team. They're just not very good at it. And they need your help. That's it. They all want to get started. They're just not very good at it. They don't know how to do it. They need your help to help them do it. So that's your job, is to help them solve the problem, get past their bad thinking, their questions, whatever it is, and get them enrolled on your team. Place that wholesale order, not get started in business, not start building, not the opportunity, not place that wholesale order. It just lets the smoke out of the room. It's like, then, so now I know how to enroll them. Then I say, Tim, let me ask you a question. Who are 3 people that you love and care about that you think could really benefit from this patch? We're building a business already. I didn't even say it, but that's what we're doing. And we're going to go enroll some of his friends the next couple of days. So remember, that's the thought. Everybody wants to get in your business. Everybody wants to enroll with you. They're just not good at it yet. So you got to teach them how. All right. All right.
So mentioned Thanksgiving week.
Oh, Thanksgiving week. My secretary reminded me. So Thanksgiving week, we're not going to do any meetings. Obviously on Thanksgiving we won't, but that Tuesday we won't have a manager's meeting either because people will be traveling and all that. So just kind of prep yourself for that. There will be no manager meeting or Thursday night, obviously. I'll be sleeping on a couch somewhere with a belly full of turkey and stuffing on Thursday night. So
And Tuesday night we could be driving.
yeah, Tuesday night we might be driving up to Michigan. Yeah. So anyhow.
Welcome.
Be a new location.
Yeah, next week for this meeting will be a new location because we're babysitting, but we'll make it happen.
Woohoo.
All right. Well, hopefully this was helpful. And again, if it's too high level, it wasn't designed to throw you off. It was designed to help you move forward and not just make money in this, but build a team that will actually have a bunch of leaders in it. So you have a lifestyle. Because I don't want to see everybody on here making, 50 grand a month and you still got to work 40 hours a week. That's not the goal with network marketing. The goal with network marketing is you make 50 grand a month and you can take 2-3 months off if you want to and just check in with your team every now and then. That's how it should work. And it will work that way if you follow that process. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go to Hawaii together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Love you guys.
Congratulations.
you.
to
Love you.
everybody. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tim and
Great
Amy.
meeting, guys.
Yeah.
Good night.
5 pages of notes later, it was a great meeting.